100 rounds fired at dismissal. But somehow, the sniper perched above D.C.'s Edmund Burke School last spring didn't kill anyone.
Had the circumstances been different, that could have easily been the worst school shooting in U.S. history.
Instead, Edmund Burke became a footnote in America's gun violence story, just one of the DMV's 32 school shootings last year. It's one of the nearly 3,000 mass shootings David Reedman logged in his database full of every school shooting since 1970. It's a database that provides a surprising insight.
Schools are one of the lowest places that these mass attacks happen, far outweighed by malls, theaters, concerts, other airports, other places like that. Schools don't rank in the top 5 of that.
The 7 News Eye team poured through each school shooting, discovering 2 out of every 3 school shootings happen outside school buildings, most long after students go home.
Even though we have a conceptual understanding of a school shooting being something like Parkland or something like Sandy Hook, when students are sitting in a classroom and a shooter enters their classroom, that's extraordinarily rare.
Out of 166 school shootings in the DMV since 1970, 106 of them happened outside school buildings. Local school security directors say most of what is classified as a school shooting is community gun violence that spills onto school property.
When most people hear school shooting, they think of a mass violence attack. They're not thinking of community gun violence that is leaked inside of the school.
Jason Stoddard is Charles County School Security Director.
One of the scariest parts about school safety and security is the fact that post-tragedy, more money is infused into it. What we need is consistency.
Stoddard just spent $207,000 on 300 gun-detecting security cameras. He used a one-time state grant, becoming the first school district in Maryland to install this tech. Today, the grant money pays for the cameras and the software licenses that make them run. But in 2 years, the grant money and the camera software licenses run out.
And then after that, it will be moved into our budget, my budget, in our school system as part of maintenance of effort.
Lobbying records show the American security industry pushing for more and more one-time state and federal grant money for school security. Internal industry research obtained by the 7 News Eye team says the physical security market in education in the United States is a multi-billion-dollar revenue opportunity. It says the threats most likely to generate sales are unauthorized access, risks to staff safety, student violence, and lone wolf attacks.
Are you getting sales pitches
fairly
regularly? Every day. What are you being pitched?
Anything from wireless or communication devices to, in the era of COVID, masks and gloves.
Is the amount of money that is being poured into school security, is it necessary given the actual risk?
You know, that's a great question. So these are, when you talk about school shootings, these are relatively low frequency but high consequence events. It would be unbalanced to pursue only solutions that are aimed at like a mass shooting event only.
Jake Parker directs government relations for the Silver Spring-based Security Industry Association. SIA represents more than 1,300 security companies.
Is this a business opportunity for you?
Well, I mean, of course, I think that many of the solutions, though, that are deployed for school safety purposes are the same as you would have in other commercial sectors.